cops over there.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, I'm usually the one saying all the mean things. I'm working on myself to not be so hateful because I had to check myself because I used to be like that. But as y'all can see, I'm working on it because it's not easy. It's a personal battle we all have to fight.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, so that doesn't matter.
Sorry, they just make me mad.
Yeah, that makes sense. Everybody here is American.
So I want to thank all of you for coming. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to all of us that are here. I moved from Los Angeles, California to Rover when I was 17 years old. I've never experienced discrimination and racism to the extent that I have since living in this state. I've worked as an EMT for the city. I've saved a lot of people. I would like to think so. I've helped a lot of people because that's what I like to do. It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter where they're from. But unfortunately, even while doing that job in an unvary and biased situation, I've been asked, where's your green card? Where are you from? Were you born in this country? Why? Because I'm a person of color, because I'm brown, because they don't see me as someone who's helping them. And that's really wrong. I really want right now, and I thank every single one of you that are here today helping us do that. And we love you so much. I appreciate everyone so much. And I thank you for your time. Thank you so much, guys. Black Lives Matter. Don't forget it.
You know, I hate to make it all about me, but, you know, I think what I need to do is prove a point here for a second. Because lately, for the past 2 weeks, I've been hearing this thing called self-accountability, where you have to hold yourself accountable for your actions, because your actions not only affect yourself, but those around you as well. And that's in Medford. We were walking through a crowd of those guys. I don't know what really to call them, so I'm just going to stick to calling them those guys. We were walking through, and one of them pushed me and was like, I'll drag you behind my truck. And at that moment, I had two choices. I could act like the little thug that he wanted me to be, or I could take into account that if I were to do what he wanted me to do, I'd also end up on the back of a t-shirt. And I had to think, how would that affect the people who stand with me? What would that do? How would that affect what we're trying to do? How would that, prove the points that we're trying to prove if I do something that's different? So I had to reflect on myself about that, take a step back and be like, you know what? That is not why we're here. That's not what we're here for. And if I do that, it's not just for me. It's going to affect everyone. It doesn't just affect me personally. But then comes the hard part. The hard part comes trying to show people this while fixing it within yourself. Now, it's not easy. It's not easy because there's a lot of times where we want to look at them, we want to give them the hate, we want to show them how it feels. But that doesn't get anywhere. That just keeps, fueling their blindness, keeps them wanting to keep their comfortability on. But in order for us to get through to them, we got to make them feel uncomfortable in order for them to want change. And the best way to make them feel uncomfortable is to do what they don't want us to do and be peaceful and show them that they can't bother us, show no fear to them. Basically, just ignore them. And eventually they'll realize they're talking to a wall and start feeling crazy and start asking us why aren't we, engaging with them no more. And they'll start understanding that we're not out here trying to promote the hate and the biases and the bullshit. That's not what we're here for. I know this because there's been quite a few of them in Medford that have come up to me and talked to me. There's been like 2 here that have come up and asked me about my flag specifically. And it's all about sparking their curiosity and getting them to understand that we're not what the media said. We're not. None of us are. But the problem is everyone wants to get their information off of screens instead of going out in person and seeing it for themselves. You come out here for yourself, you can see the real raw, I can't even call it footage, you just see the real raw truth of what's going on. And that's what they're trying to cover up, because they want everyone to think that, they go out to small towns and burn, loot, and murder people. I live like 10 minutes away from here. Why would I want to destroy this place? I live like right down the road. I actually want to come here and explore because I'm from the city. I don't see mountains and trees and valleys where I'm from. I see dull, gray, dry-ass concrete everywhere. Then I come out here, I look over there, and every day the trees look different. Instead of the same boring old shit. Why would I want to destroy that? I moved away from the city so I can make Oregon my home. And I'll be damned if I don't fight for what the fuck my home is. I don't know who you are. My home is my home. And I'll stand up and fight for it till the day I die. Because I want to be able to, in the future, look at my grandkids and not have to have the conversation of, why do people hate you because you're so dark? I have a little godson that's half Hispanic, half Caucasian. I don't want to have to look at that little boy and tell him, be careful where you go at night because people might not like you there. That's one conversation I'm tired of having with younger people of color. I've had that conversation too many times and I don't even have children yet. And I'm telling this to kids that are younger than me like I'm their older brother because they haven't had someone to tell them about the bullshit that's going on. All they experience is the hate. Then when they meet someone that wants to sit there and help guide them, they reject it because they're already conditioned to think that I'm going to hate on them. So it's difficult to educate people on both sides. Not just their side, our side too, which is why we need to come together as a community and start trying to educate everybody. Not just one side, both sides. Because we need to check ourselves too, because let's admit it, we're not perfect. I know for damn sure I'm not. I'm getting so sick of hearing that. Burn, loot, and murder. Burn, loot, and murder. Okay, who here has seen me burn anything? Raise your hand. What about some looting? Anyone see me do some looting? What about murder? So tell me why do they keep using that statement to, counteract everything we say? Want to know why? Because they're giving us a checklist of what the fuck they want us to do. They want us to burn, they want us to loot, they want us to murder. That's what they want. But little do they realize, we're out here fighting against that shit. We don't want people to burn, loot, and murder. We want them to stop burning, looting, and murdering. Because they done did that to a whole goddamn continent. You don't believe me? Ask a native. Go ahead. Go to one of the reservations and ask the natives why they're so goddamn angry. Out of anybody, they have the complete right to be angry. Okay, so everyone who's standing here, I need y'all to do me a favor and trust in our security team and face back. We are not here for them, we're here for us, so we're gonna face this way and draw attention to why we're really here, okay?
This is pretty basic. You've all
Trying to get my phone some shade.
We're taking our attention this way. We're just shooting things right out.
You can't rape people. Can you rape guys? So you can't.
Oh, it's one of those guys.
You can't rape somebody. You can't rape somebody. That means you can't make a judgment. I'm using your robbery.
Testing. Everyone, great work. So I do want to let you know that this is not going to go unnoticed. We have our phones. We're sitting here peacefully. We're singing. We're coming together, and they're yelling and screaming and shouting out obscenities. So I just want you to know that it's not going to be for nothing. Because I'm going to bring it to your attention and their attention right now is that we got our phones out. We are recording all of this. We are recording all of it.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
And I just want Rogue River to know, congratulations, you're gonna be TikTok famous! Especially that guy. Yeah, so it wasn't my intention to make a small town like this, you know, famous on social media. I wanted the attention to focus on the kids. But now the focus is just on the racism and not on kids' experiences from the racism. So it kind of went backwards. But now we are bringing awareness that yes, racism exists, and they literally just proved it. So thank you all. Thank you all so much.
All right, can y'all hear me? Yeah. All right, we finally got our amplified sound system. Like we said, okay.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, like we said, we will not be silenced.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying nonviolent. Thank you for not engaging. We are a community. We are not the threat. Now that we are able to actually hear and actually have the resources to amplify the voices of members of our community, I really encourage, especially Rogue River citizens who want to say their piece, who want to express that Rogue River stands against hate. I really encourage anyone to come up and share their experience. Oh my gosh. We have members, we have community leaders in this group. We try to come together peacefully. We tried to come together peacefully. We tried to have a pastor say a prayer, and they yelled at us because Jesus doesn't believe in our message of equality? That doesn't make any sense. We're trying to make it make sense, honestly. I really thank you all for bearing with me. It's hot outside. So, you know, we originally were going to have an open mic session, and I was planning on kind of sharing my experience, so I guess I'll just do that now. You know, they keep talking about where we're coming from. They keep talking about, okay, what the hell is happening?
I think you're getting too far away.
Am I getting too far away? Okay, let's, oh, I'm too close. God. Okay. Pivot and proceed. All right. You know, they keep talking about. Should we just switch back to the megaphones? They keep talking about. Hang on.
Sorry for all the bouncing. I'm getting situated here.
Put a bullet in there.
All right, to break the tension, who's ready for a dad joke? Yeah. Hey, what do you call a fish with no eyes? Okay, we got another good dad joke.
Go back, and when you go white, you say, I.
I'm fucking screaming! Oh my god! That works on so many levels. Oh my god, that is great. That is hilarious. See, it's nice that we can all laugh a little bit. That's all I'm trying to do. We're just trying to create a good time here. You know? I don't want to ruin Oregon. I don't want to loot Oregon. I live here, man. You know what? I am a city slicker. I'm not a small towner. I get that. I'm from Baltimore City, Maryland. But you know what? The first time that I ever had moonshine, guess where it was? Right here! The first time that I ever went camping, guess where the woods was? Right here! I have done so many things that I had never thought I would be able to do, all because I live in a great state like this. I just don't like the racism. No, you do not. Hello? Can you hear me?
Turn it up. I would turn it up.
Can you hear me? Here, hello? Nope. Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Yeah! Can you hear us now? You see how resilient we are? You see how creative and resourceful the people in our community are? I swear to God, if this a little bit farther away. Okay, can you hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm not gonna sing. This is that's not my talent. All right. Are we good? La 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 la. Okay. Yeah. So I'm glad we were able to break the tension. You know. Because that was our original intent, was to have a good time. Alright. Yeah, so like I said, I'm just going to share my personal experience, and I encourage anyone else who wants to share their personal experience. And I know that we had some community leaders, leaders of organizations who wanted to get their message out there as well. As I said at the beginning of this event, I'm the founder of the Southern Oregon Coalition for Racial Equity. Our entire goal is to bring as many organizations together, to connect as many people together, to ensure that everyone in our community of Southern Oregon, and that includes Rogue River, is fighting to create a community that cares for one another, that is anti-racist, and that supports our most disenfranchised members of our community. That includes our black and brown brothers and sisters, that includes our children, that includes our houseless neighbors, that includes our members of the LGBTQ community. It's literally everyone. It includes the people across the street right now. It's everyone. So, you know, they keep trying to say that we brought a bunch of people in from Portland and Eugene and from California to cause trouble here in Rogue River. I don't know why we would do that. I'm gonna say again, I was born and raised in Grants Pass. My childhood home is like 10-15 minutes from here. The first time I was like even in Rogue River, you know, I spent a lot of time in Rogue River for school events and for soccer matches and things like that. And one of the first memories I have of being in Rogue River was almost getting into a fight with another kid because they tried to touch my hair. And that doesn't seem like a big deal to a lot of people. You know, a lot of people see that as like, oh, maybe that kid was just teasing you, like whatever. So I've been thinking about this a lot, and I wanted to try to really put into context what that feels like for a little black girl. So, being a little black girl in Southern Oregon is walking outside of your door every day and constantly being on display, whether you like it or not. It's having people come up to you, asking you tons and tons of questions about yourself that you're not even sure about yet because you're a little girl, you're still figuring yourself out. It's people saying like, you look so exotic and your hair is so different, it's so fun, but like it's a compliment, don't worry. But like, you know, they ask questions like, you know, is your hair natural, or, you know, where are you from, but like, where are you really from? And I try to answer the best I can. You know, I'm a little girl, I don't know like what those questions mean. And I still try to do this emotional labor for people in my community, despite the fact that I don't want to. I'm a little kid. And when I open my mouth, a lot of times I'm met with surprise because I talk so well for a black girl. See, when we say that racism exists in our community, it's not that individual people are racist, usually. It's not that people are actively trying to tear us down. Usually it's the little things that eat away at a small child who's just trying to grow up and be happy.
Oh, did I get water on you?
It's okay. I look
these
bad.
lids.
It's being really confused that other people feel that they have access to your body without your permission. To be petted like an animal, to be expected to do certain things based on stereotypes, and to be met with really negative and angry reactions when you don't fit those stereotypes. So, you know, when I first came to Rogue River, when I was a little girl, and I was having a bad day, and I had just gotten off a bus with 30 other kids, and I'm the only one who has my boundaries disrespected, and I react with anger, that's pretty fucking reasonable to me. But to everyone else who's only seeing that one incident, they tell me I'm making a big deal. And they tell me to calm down and not make a scene. And so, over time, the little black girls, the little brown kids in this community learn to shrink themselves and to stay small just to be safe and to not cause any trouble. And eventually we grow up and we realize that we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. And when we finally learn to find our voices, that's why we're here today. I'm thankful that I found my voice. I'm thankful that I found my community. And I don't want the children in our communities to grow up feeling the way that I did. Because you get to the point where you never want to leave your house because you're constantly on display. So thank you for being here and realizing that everybody deserves to be treated with dignity. It's just so disappointing. And we live in racism, that when we say we're protesting racism, people think we're protesting the country. It is so disappointing to live in a community that when we say racism exists and we want that to change so that everybody can live happier lives, people think we're attacking them. Racism is so ingrained in our communities. And that has to change. And that's why we're here. We're out here to change that. And it's a long, long journey. It doesn't end today. Oh gosh, it's I'm dedicated to this work. I'm committed to making my community a better place. Yo, I don't want to be out here every day trying to get yelled at. I don't want to have to walk down a street and be told to go home, like as if my home isn't here. I'm tired. I need every single person who is here today to commit to being in your communities and to speaking up for your Black brothers and sisters, for your neighbors, to make sure that they know who is safe in their community. I need you to do that. I need you to protect the little Black and brown girls and boys and humans who exist in our community and don't know how to speak up for themselves yet. Demonstrate that. Show them how to find their voice. Show them that they're not alone. Show them that they are enough. Oh, I'm so tired. I need to change my mask. It's full of snot now. If anybody wants to come up and share their experience, I do want to say, as I said, we are committed to promoting other events and organizations, and I know that there was a couple of people here who wanted to speak, and I know it took a really long time for us to get the technology and the space to share. So, yeah, so the first thing, it's so ridiculous that the people across the street keep saying save our children. As we've said before, what about the children in our community? We are out here committed to protecting all of our children and all of our most vulnerable people. So Friday, September 4th is going to be a march against white supremacy, against homelessness, and against child sexual assault in Ashland. So I'm going to have the leader of that event speak, and then we have the leader, because as we said, and I will say it again, and I will never stop saying it, we are out here to protect everyone. All right. Yeah, you want to share?
Hello! Next weekend, starting in Lithia Square in Ashland, Oregon, not far from here, in Southern Oregon, we are going to have a march against white supremacy. We are going to have a march against the patriarchy who thinks it's okay to abuse their women and children. And we are also going to march in solidarity with homes for the homeless, the people who have been pushed out on the street by COVID or otherwise. We have to stand in solidarity. My name is Turtle. I represent Turtle and Mingpaw. We're going to be leading this march first Friday, 6 p.m., September 4th, starting in Lithia Square. We're going to march to Railroad Park, and we are going to have a vigil there to honor the Black lives that were lost this year. Then we are going to march past the police department and continue down Oak Street to a land that we plan on occupying. And we are going to occupy the Hardesty property because because there is not a homeless shelter in Ashland, Oregon, and the winter is coming, and people are going to die unless something changes. So if you believe that Black Lives Matter, and you believe that people should not be living on the streets right now, and that women and children should not be beaten, should not be oppressed by the patriarchy, then join us next Friday at 6 p.m. going till 9 p.m. in Ashland, Oregon. I'm here in solidarity. We support you here in Rogue City. We support you in Rogue River. We support you. We are here in solidarity. This is not just a Rogue River problem. This is a Southern Oregon problem. This is the headquarters of the KKK. We know where Grants Pass is. We know who we're up against. And we're not scared!
You guys open up, take a pass. Ignore him. Trust me. Ignore him. I deal with him every Tuesday. Don't even bother me. Can we just bring another 10 feet? Can we carry it? The table. I like how the holy water is the only one that didn't fall.
Right?
I like loud trucks. I'm a mechanic. Come on now. Whoa. You're just making me fucking happy. Alright, let's do one more Harley. Oh, damn, that shit's slamming. Oh, damn. Go, brother. I'm not homeless. I just got socks on my foot, got fucked up in Cave Junction. Long story, I'm not talking about.
Oh, we wouldn't have noticed.
Anyhow, I grew up in Chicago. I'm new to Oregon. Thank you for welcoming me. This is an interesting welcome.
Thank you, Chicago.
I went to military school with Jesse Jackson Jr. He used to inspect my socks. He was pretty fair. He was pretty fair. First off, I want to thank all of our first responders. God wants us to eat together, but apparently not today.
People are fighting.
Hey, focus back down here! Back down here! No focus on that! Hey, motherfucker! So the gentleman said go home. See, now, wait, let me address that. Let me address that. Go home to where, brother? This is my home. Chicago? I should go home to Chicago? Shit, half this town is named after Illinois, brother. I'm a son of a military veteran. America! I'm a proud American, and I happen to be a Republican, standing on this side. Black life on this planet. I'm here to tell you that when I was a youth, there's a boxing gym for that. It's called 12-inch gloves. I'm down for it if we're in the same weight range, about 12 pounds. I love everybody. God wants us to eat together. I'm sorry that we couldn't eat together. Apparently there were some threats of other people's lives, and our first responders had to make a fucking thing. I recommend the Cardi B cheddar cheese barbecue. It's on sale at Ross, is what I'm saying. Let me tell you what it's like to walk through Cabrini Green as a white man with a bunch of black brothers.
Why don't you tell me what it's like in Chicago with the hundreds of people?
I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about that. This brother's got a good point. He's saying, what the hell's going on the south side of Chicago? Do you want to listen? Because the way this started was they turned their backs, we turned our backs. Now we're facing each other as brothers and sisters. What's one thing we can agree on? The First Amendment. Is that correct? And the Second Amendment, just in case you fucked that up and I fucked that up. We are Americans and we are proud Americans. The beginning of any negotiation is no! No! We're not listening to you. You're not listening to us. I have friends on both sides. What I'm trying to say is these are difficult times. Let me address that. This man is making a valid point.
It is disgraceful for you to be cussing. You are using bad language.
I'm sorry, I've been in New York and Chicago too long. He's making a valid...
You know right from wrong, and you shouldn't be using that language.
I apologize, I'm using bad language. I apologize. I hear you, sister. I hear you. So this brother's making a valid point, and she's making an even more valid point. My understanding of Grants Pass is they ran the KK out years ago. So my understanding.
They're not marching down the street.
I hear you. I'm sorry for my profanity. Every now and then I just lose my temper. It's the Chicago syndicate in me. I can't help it. Anyhow, what I want to say to you today is that there are 24,000 homeless youth in Oregon. Guess which state has more homeless youth? No other state has more homeless youth. Guess what city has the most sexually trafficked female girls? Portland has more female sexually homeless girls. That's right. I hear you. 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 I hear you, brother. I hear you. It's not. I want peace. I want peace.
They won't. They're fucking terrified.
I hear you, brother.
Those assholes were affected.
Oregon has passed over 25 bills to eradicate youth sex trafficking. What do we have? Not much. Not much. I'm not here to be partisan. I got friends on both sides. I'm not here to be partisan. I'm here to talk about an issue of our children being sold into slavery. It does not discriminate based on race, gender. It does not discriminate based on income. This is about you, me, and everybody we know. If you knew that a foreign country was going to come down onto our soil in Oregon and steal 3,000 of our female youth, would you do something about it? Amen. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You guys, that's all I'm saying.
You come here with Black Lives Matter signs and then you talk about child.
I came here as a representative. Sir,
I can hear you.
We literally just opened the mic to him to speak. I opened up the mic to him, but the organization that I'm with still fully is about racial equity as well as child sex trafficking, as well as a lot of the issues that plague this country. I'm going to redirect the conversation back to all of you that read above a third grade level. I read a poem by Langston Hughes.
I'm sorry. I lived in New York too long, I swear.
Testing. Can y'all hear me now? Cool. Okay, great. I read a poem by Langston Hughes, but I want to go a little bit into why I like Langston Hughes. I'm going to let the little dip squad go and then I'll talk. Okay, so I have a biracial son. His name's Eric. His father is white. And so I've had this very uncomfortable conversation with him. And so far, his family is on board with, you know, my life mattering, my son's life mattering. But oddly enough, the man that I conceived my biracial son with doesn't agree with me. And I gotta say, I was definitely pretty hurt because, well, his name's Levi, and he saw the stares that we got because we were an interracial couple in Southern Oregon. And then what's more is that with interracial couples, how often do you see an African American female? It does not happen a lot. So naturally, our can you hear me? Is this broken or does it work?
How you doing? It's a little bit worn out already. What have you been here all of an hour, maybe two?
The Bible says the wages of sin is death, and the gift of God is Christ Jesus. Christ Jesus. The gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus.
Okay, we're back on target. So,
What is the law? The law.
so interracial couples, it's not a foreign concept here, but when you do see interracial couples, it's usually an African American man with a Caucasian woman. And in my instance, with my biracial child, my used to be significant other, because he's my ex, he's white. And so when I tried to explain to him the issues that our child is going to grow up with, he didn't want to hear it. And so I couldn't help but notice that that once again my humanity is questioned with someone that I thought that I knew. It made me feel like an accessory. It made me feel like my race was some type of perverted fetish. I am a human being. Don't fetishize my race. If we're in a relationship and social issues arise, they're not just my issues, they're yours too. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too in terms of race relations, I'm sorry. So with that being said, the reason why I like Langston Hughes is because he was a biracial man. He had a white father, he had a black mom. And I thought that what I would like to accomplish today, had there been a barbecue, is that I would have explained to these biracial kids that there are poets, there are artists, so much you can learn. And I honestly can't put it into better words, which is why I like Langston Hughes to do that for me. And so I'm just going to read to you a poem from Langston Hughes that I really hope everyone holds close to their heart when you leave here today.
Is it I Too America?
No, not that one, but it's a good one though.
I love that one.
All right, here we go. The name of this poem is called Democracy by Langston Hughes. Democracy will not come today, this year, nor ever through compromise and fear. I have as much right as the other fellow has to stand on my 2 feet and on the land. I tire so of hearing people say, let things take their course. Tomorrow is another day. I do not need my freedom when I'm dead. I cannot live on tomorrow's bread. Freedom is a strong seed planted in great need. I live here too, and I want freedom just as you. Now, would anyone else like to come up and say a few words? Oh, sorry.
Wow, where to begin? My name is Siobhan Haynes, and I'm not Antifa. I admit I was not born in Oregon, I was born in California. My parents moved to Cave Junction in the early 80s. My parents were married 3 years after the Love Act, which so my parents chose to move from Pittsburgh, California to Cave Junction, Oregon to try and give their kids a better life. As you can imagine, what the community, how the community of Cave Junction welcomed my multiracial family to that area. My brothers and sisters, they had a pretty tough time. I'm not gonna lie. They fought a lot of battles, not just for them, for me and my younger brother, and trying to show people what's right and what's wrong. And just because people look different doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. And what made me want to come here today was to kind of help share my story. I was led to believe that there's going to be a lot of young kids here today that might have had a similar upbringing as myself. You know, living in a small town where you look different than everybody else is not easy. It's not easy. And kids are curious. Kids are very, very curious. They ask a lot of questions. If that curiosity can translate to adults, where if something looks different and they don't know about it, ask questions. Start this conversation. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. I know I was on the other side of the street for a little bit, just chatting with people and sharing like why I was here, what made me want to come, and to share my story. And you know, that's just what really needs to happen. These peaceful conversations. I feel really bad that it didn't turn out to what it was supposed to be today. But I would just encourage everyone to continue these conversations. Continue to have the uncomfortable situations. Just because you don't agree with somebody doesn't mean you're wrong or they're wrong. We just need to have these conversations so everybody understands where you're coming from. You know, I get it. You know, people say blue lives matter. But I'm sorry, it's not. A blue life is a choice. Being brown or black or gay or straight or lesbian or whatever, it's not a choice. It's who you are. You don't wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a brother today. So it's just that conversation. It needs to happen. I guess that's pretty much all I had. And thank you everybody for showing up. Can you hear me over there? Yeah, can you hear me over there? But if I turn over here, can you hear me over here? So if I stay right here, you can hear me? I want you to turn to the person to your left and right. Make sure you're social distancing and thank them for being here. Thank the person who's next to you for being here, please. I'd also like to thank our sign language interpreter who's up here as well. I'd like to thank the organizers of this event as well. All right, everybody, look this way. I'll let you know if anything's happening. All right, you guys, go ahead and look this way. Look this way. Look this way. Look this way. I'm an educator, consultant, an actor, a dancer. I identify as a multi-ethnic, two-spirit warrior. I moved down here 16 years ago to get my master's in teaching. I helped create the Crater Renaissance Academy of Arts and Sciences in Central Point, Oregon. That all ended about 2 years ago on a very negative note because a lot of this came into the world. I started having nightmares. The nightmares would be that a gunman was coming into the school. The gunman was periodically or methodically killing off my students. And then when the gun person finally got to me,
that was fire and rescue.
They'd be out of bullets, they'd lay down the gun, and they'd walk away.
That's the kind of internalized stuff that situations like this do. The kind of things that get inside and they get stuck inside. So today when you leave here, make sure that you are practicing self-care and taking care of yourself. Also, make sure if you see a person of color, this shit right here is fucking re-traumatizing. It brings up all kinds of stuff. It was buried real deep. They keep rushing forward. Every round of that engine, there's a code that hits my ear. It brings this shit up from deep inside me. And it makes it really hard to be a part of it. Yes? Yes? Yes?
They're all loving it over there. This is how they believe in future.
They've tried many a way to silence us. It's not going to work. And we don't have to be loud about it, but we can. Yes? Yes? Yes! But the biggest thing today is to make sure you are taking care of each other. Because we're going to see you all here soon. Because we're going to need each and every one of you out here again. So you have to take care of yourself. This negative shit that gets in you, man. And you got to make sure that for you, you understand what that means. It's different for each and every one of us. Okay? So please, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And the other thing, what are you building? What are you, whatever you are building, if it's community, let it be community. If it's sanctuary, let it be a sanctuary. If it's a place for nourishment that people can come to and nourish their bodies and their mind and their soul, then let it be that. But be building when this shit's going on. Do not rebuild the same thing. Do not rebuild that. We got to get rid of all of that. But we have to look at it so we don't rebuild the same thing. That's what dismantling is. Dismantle it. Look at every fucking piece of this shit. Look at it clearly and throw it away. So we don't build it again. We build a place where all of us can come, where all of us belong, where all of us feel that love of belonging, and we don't have to leave any aspect of who we are at the door. We bring it all in. Yes? So make sure you're taking care of each other. Make sure that you get back to your cars safely. Make sure that you're keeping an eye out for each other and that's it. And more than anything, above anything else, make sure you put love into the world. Yes? Yes. A little love goes a long way. Again, thank you all for being here.
As we said time and time again, this is supposed to be a barbecue. This is supposed to be a family-friendly event, and look what's happened. But here we are resilient. We are not going anywhere. We are staying strong. We are a community. We had already bought the food, so we aren't able to feed our community here today, so we're donating it to one of our comrades who is feeding the houseweds today. Because we believe that every life is valuable and every life deserves to be treated with dignity. We're gonna just keep going. I keep
I am going to keep encouraging people to come up and share their experiences. For now, we're going to do a few chants. So I'm going to say, show me what a community looks like. And you're going to respond, this is what a community looks like. Are you ready? Yeah. Show me what a community looks like.
This is what a community looks like.
Show me what a community looks like.
This is what a community looks like.
Show me what a community looks like.
This is what a community looks like.
Show me what a community looks like.
This is what a community looks like.
Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Alright, we have some snacks up here, we have water. If I could get a few volunteers to help disperse some water out into the crowd. We want to stay hydrated, we want to take care of ourselves. We're also going to pass out a piece of paper if you want to accept it that has some lyrics to a couple songs. We're going to keep singing, we're going to keep chanting, we're going to show the rest of Rogue River what community looks like. We're going to get a couple people to help me hydrate our community.
Steven, I don't think you've ever actually met.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I gotta do it that way.
Hey, you guys see how the church people come out here? And you guys see how the All Lives Matters people come out here? For the past week, I've been trying to get them all to come to Hawthorne Park and prove that all life does matter. There's a lot of people out there that they have turned their backs on those people in that community, and they're actually really effective. The reason why it affects your community is because those same people with mental health problems and with drug addiction, they don't feel like the community cares about them. They don't feel like the community loves them, don't give a care what in the world about them. They just step over them as people. They're people who are stepped over. And then you guys are asking those same people that you're stepping over and treating like shit to do right in your community and keep your parks and your recreations and everything else clean. As a person that once lived that life, that's the reason I didn't. If you treated me like shit, why do I care about your community? I don't. Those people aren't to be shamed, and people aren't to be treated like they're less human. They're actually people who are going down a dark road. It's better than living in a house full of lies like most people are choosing to live in. Hey, and the ones that say about God over here, they make me the maddest because that's who I do all this for. How in the world can you sit over here and preach that stuff and tell people how to live their life when you don't even know how to live your own? You're over here judging too. Yeah, black lives do matter. And if you know what the gospel was the word of the people. The gospel were people telling people about times that they went through and their spiritual awakening to who the hell they are as an individual. That's what that Bible represents. Somewhere else, we're trying to share freedom. So we're tired of that. You're standing there, you're being a suppressor. So that is not what God wanted you to be. So stop being a suppressor. I'm here to protest this. And I've talked to you guys. And that's exactly what you're doing, and you agreed 100% with me one night. So what you're doing right now is being a suppressor if you already agreed, and you're standing against what you already agreed with, sir. So you should shut that down because you already agreed. You cannot. A suppressor is one who wants you to stay to a controlled way of thinking. That's what a suppressor is. So educate yourself, sir. A suppressor is a controlled way of thinking. That's what a suppressor is. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Hey, this hatred right here, somebody said it beautifully earlier. I gotta give him his props. I don't know where he ran off to. Hey, but we have to dispel this hatred. So many people ask me, Clarence, why do you keep going out there? So they can see their own ignorance. So many people ask me, Clarence, you used to be a very fucked up person. Yes, I did. I used to be horrible. I used to be horrible. What made me change was actually shame. People pointing it out. People taking the time to step up and saying, Clarence, you're a fucked up person. People who care and show what tough love was. People who show what real love was. It took them people. It took really nice, sweet people who cared more about a fucking flag and they cared about a person. So they cared about that person so much they were willing to correct my negative behavior, and I got to see it in myself. So if we got to go to every town in Medford, Oregon, I don't care, all over Oregon, and dispel their hatred and let them see what the hell they're doing to their own community, to their own youth, then we'll keep going, because we ain't done nothing negative. We're only doing shit that's positive. Hey, and for all you all Lives Matters, for 5 days, let me explain. They talk about Portland, Oregon. They talk so bad about Portland, Oregon. For 5 days, Portland, Oregon and Coos Bay have been basically the major funders in feeding Jackson County's homeless. So what I'm saying is, I would like the rest of you guys to step up and continue. Because once you heal them very, very low people, you're going to find out that it's healing stuff inside of you that you didn't know needed to be healed. And all those Christians, all you Christians, that's another thing. You're not supposed to judge your brother. You're supposed to show your brother the way. Allow your brother to have whatever path that he needs to take. You're just supposed to show a safe guidance through it. That's what God wants you to do. Give your brother a safe passage to finding out who he is. Not what they want for you to kick him to the curb. Matter of fact, most of the ones that I'm feeding, it's most of their families, their cousins, their brothers, their uncles, or sisters that they threw away because they had a drug addiction or a mental addiction and they didn't fit their criteria of a family. Amen. And the one thing I love about all you guys, and I don't care about them, is there is no criteria when it comes to you guys as a family. You guys don't come with...
You're good, guys. Stick with it. Stick with it.
Keep going. We're listening.
Spread your message. You got something to say? Say it. You have that right? Yeah. Just because I stand on one side of the street, you don't either, doesn't mean I don't love you. It's hard to spread your hate when I'm talking to you.
I actually been waiting for you to show up to Hawthorne Park. You show up to all the protests. And I want you to show some of them houses the same love that you show me every time I come to protest.
I show you love every time. I got that brother.
Well, come down to Hawthorne Park. Because guess what? It's in Medford, Oregon. It's just right down the street from the jailhouse you were at. You know, you came and kindly gave me a hug at. Anyways.
Because I love everybody.
Well, let's see it today. All life matters. Hey, look. I took it upon myself to make sure that the cookout for the homeless was still going on during this. So it is still going on. I don't mean to disrespect nobody without a house, but that was thanks to all of you guys. Please don't let that die out no matter what. But back to what I was saying was this. If all life matters, those are the lives that it start with. You're right. Black life ain't going to matter to those life matters because that's what black life has failed to. The same mental... All right, thank you. I know, that's why I'm feeding them in Hawthorne Park. You want to help me? I appreciate it. Hey, but like I was saying, you know, it's like really serious. Like, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. They say they got all these non-profits and they got all these organizations that's for the people. Those same organizations have the same laws and restrictions that the police and your government politicians have. So during a time of sickness and a pandemic when the people needed them the most, they're all closed down to a sheltered skeleton crew, which is not helping the people. And it's not even going to help the lower class or the middle class because those classes are all suffering together. So as we get to continue to suffer more and go through more because the pandemic is just now starting and we haven't even felt the effects of it yet, us as a unity and as a group that you see growing and growing across the world, we need to band together and start taking care of one another like I'm doing in the park. You need to do it in the same form, fame, and manner, wherever town or city that you're in. Let them keep going with their individualism, because if they haven't known, hate is getting wiped out of this world, whether it's through man or through whoever created it. And that's a promise I'm willing to die on.
Wait a minute, you literally just said, if you come over here, we'll fuck you up. You brought guns.
So, my whole point in all of this, hey, for a long time, I couldn't understand these protests. I thought, like, when I first went to Portland, I was hella happy. Like, they're being peaceful. I was like, what in the world is this? They're being peaceful. And then I had about a group of 8 women and one dude get me in a car and they taught me a whole bunch. And after they got done schooling me on my own ignorance even more, and I thought I had grew up, I was like, oh, well, y'all really not on violent? They said, no, Clarence, because that's what they tell you you are. And after they got done educating me on myself, I learned that violence is 100% not the way. Allow them to be violent. Allow them to be ignorant. Allow them to be all the things that they've ever called a black man. And you stand proud in your dark, beautiful skin. You stand proud in that tan, beautiful skin. And you just keep going. And you allow your ignorance to be displayed all across America, all across the USA. Always grab that phone out. Always display this hate. Because the moment it'll all just start growing and it'll need to get more colorful, more beautiful. When you see an ugly rose sitting somewhere, what do? You add another one to it. So that's what we need to do. Just keep adding to this hate and build it into a beautiful thing like we're doing now right here. This is beautiful, a beautiful rose added to a fucking garden full of hate. That's exactly what's going on. So y'all keep adding them, keep fighting, and fuck people full of hate. Sorry about my language.
How you doing?
I'm going to keep passing the mic. I just want to say that we have worked really hard to make sure that everyone here in our community is as safe as possible.
Sorry.
Lunch break?
If you have any concerns when you are ready to go home, come and approach us. We'll make sure that you make it home safely. Okay? So I just want to say that. Just come and approach us. But myself at least, I'm going to be out here.
Like, I'm fucking over it. Like,
until the rest of them go home, basically. So I hope that you'll join us for as long as possible.
Just don't threaten my daughter. My mom got 3 kids at her house. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I know there's children out in the crowd. I'm going to go ahead and apologize to the parents right now. Because I'm not sugarcoating the goddamn thing no more. And a lot of y'all know me, a lot of y'all don't. But some of y'all will understand the power behind these words. Because I'm fucking mad. Really mad. We came out here to provide for the community. To provide for the children. To show children that they matter, and we get met with hate. We get pushed out, and then they give us a checklist of what they want us to do, so they have an excuse to justify their hate against us and hurt us, and, you know, pretty much burn, loot, and murder us.
Yes.
So, like, why? We come out here to support their community like they say they want us to actually do, and they still meet us with hate, telling us to go home, telling us this isn't Portland. Motherfucker, we know this isn't Portland. That's why we're here supporting the goddamn community. Portland's got Portland. They can do their own fucking thing. Here in Southern Oregon, we need help in our communities to build them up. Whether it's here, whether it's Coos Bay, whether it's Cave Junction, Medford, Ashland, Talbot, Phoenix, anywhere. There needs to be change. And that's all we're trying to tell them. We're not trying to, you know, support their checklist. We're trying to support our own checklist, which is build, help, support, unite. But yet, we get met with shit like this. That's why I'm fucking angry. Because I came out here for the sole purpose of supporting the children. I don't have any myself, so of course I'm going to support the little munchkins when they need it. Because they're our future. They're the ones that's going to be taking care of us when we're in nursing homes. They're going to be our doctors, our lawyers, our politicians, our policemen, our firefighters, our EMTs. Because once we retire and we kick the bucket, we're passing the torch to them. We need to teach the younger ones how to be decent human beings. And doing this shit like they're doing across the street, that ain't how you do it. Because their kids are going to grow up and remember this. And their kids are going to do one of two things. Either A, they're going to follow suit, which we really don't want. Or B, they're going to be like, okay, I felt like trash when I did that as a child. Maybe I was in the wrong, and they'll actually learn from it. Which is the hope for that. That's all we got anymore is hope. And we give up on that, then, well, we give up on everything else. Because 6 months ago, I am not even going to bullshit y'all. Sorry, arm got tired. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been out here doing this. I am not even going to lie to y'all. 6 months ago, I locked myself in my fucking trailer because I didn't believe that a community could stand together because I seen so much hate wherever I went. I worked at a gas station where people would park their cars and drive away. Some of them would even be outright with it. Like one guy, I walked up to his car and he looked me in the eyes and asked me, was there anyone else that could serve him gas? Because he didn't want me to serve his gas. And I asked him why. He said, I just don't want you serving me gas, that's all. Trying to cover up his racism. Granted, my reaction to it probably wasn't the best, but it was better than what he could have gotten. Because what I did, because there was really no one else that could serve him gas, so I just went in the store and got the other African-American male that was working with me. Oh, no, it gets so much better. It gets so much better. Because this man is 6'2", 230 pounds of pure muscle. And his voice is already deep. Then he managed to make it go even deeper, walk outside and ask that guy what he could get him for gas. I have never seen someone turn so white in my life. It was amazing. Which is the day I decided, instead of meeting these racist people with hate, I do what they really don't like. I call them out on their shit. Bring it to their face and show them their ignorance. And when I do that, oh, they really don't like me. That's why they always come up and tell me, go home, you don't belong here. Oh, what, you're afraid I'm gonna expose you? Too bad, because that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Like earlier, that ice cream truck down there. I had to ask them if I could go over and get some ice cream because I didn't want to walk over there and have someone think I was trying to start no shit. It's hot. I just wanted a goddamn popsicle. That's all I wanted. But thankfully they were cool enough to let me go over there and get a popsicle. Now there were some I could tell they were like looking at me and being like, oh, watch him, watch him, watch him. I got a backpack on with roses on it. Who am I gonna hurt? I'm wearing a shirt that has a fucking rainbow on it. Who am I trying to hurt? My shirt literally says no hate. Why would I come out here trying to hate on people? I'm out here trying to educate children that they matter. No matter what color, age, size, no matter what, they fucking matter. We're out here to support our children, and they want to show us hate. That just shows that they don't support their damn kids, and that's pathetic. And I come from a family that doesn't really support their children that well, because they can't. I grew up with a single mother who was always at work. I saw her throughout the week. I probably saw my mom a total of like, if I added all the hours together, it was probably a day. From Monday through Friday, I saw her enough time to equal out to like a day, if I was lucky. On the weekends, we would go out to church, which that's a whole nother topic we'll get into in another day because I wasn't raised Christian, I was raised Jehovah's Witness. That's all I got to say about that one. That's a whole nother can of worms for a whole different day. But that's also how I discovered fucking racism. I was about 6 years old. Walked up to this lady's door. I'll never forget it either. And that was also the day my mom found out that they really weren't gonna like me because I was not afraid of them. Walked up to this lady's door, knocked on her door. She opened the door. I said, good morning, ma'am, can I didn't even get the rest of my spiel out. She said, I don't want no, and I'm saying it. This is also why I apologize, because I'm saying it, and I don't care if it offends somebody. but y'all need to hear this. She opened her door and said, I don't want no nigger child trying to preach to me on my front doorstep. You need to get the fuck out of here before I hang you from my tree, and slam the door in my fucking face. Yeah, that's how I found out about racism. But here's the funny part. It didn't bother me none. I was confused. I was like, what the fuck just happened? I turned around and looked at my mom. I was like, so do we try again? And she starts laughing. She's like, no, honey. That's one person we can't get through to because she doesn't like you. I'm like, why? She was like, because of the color of your skin. I'm like, what does that got to do with anything? She was like, you'll figure it out when you get older. We're not here for that right now. Which is why I keep telling everybody when they start on their bullshit that we ain't here for that. We came here for the fucking children. That's what we came here to do. We got a little off topic, but I see that we're starting to get back on topic. Because in reality, let's face it, we're doing all of this so our children have a better future. Whether it be out here, trying to, support their school drives, or whether it's out there trying to reform the police. No matter what we do at these protests, we're out here doing it for our children. Even the ones that haven't been born yet. So, it's kind of funny how, no matter where I've gone, no matter what our message is, they keep saying that we're here to destroy shit, but yet we got people over there trying to antagonize us to do stuff. But little do they realize, I'm not afraid of them. And that's what they really don't like. They don't like that they can bump to me and I look at them and laugh. That's what really makes them mad. That's why they're so filled with hate, because they want to intimidate us and make themselves feel bigger than what they actually are for whatever reason. Not realizing that we don't give a fuck. You can boast, you can brag, you can holler all you want. Cool, good on you. You just look ignorant by yourself. We're gonna stay over here and keep doing what we're doing and support our goddamn children. Support your children, even though you don't like us. We don't give a fuck. We're doing this for our kids. We're doing this for our future. And they are our fucking future. And if I can say this and I don't even have children, makes me wonder what kind of parents are standing over there that do have children. That's what makes me sad. That's what makes me mad. There's children out here that everyone just brushes off to the side and ignores. Speaking as a child that had that happen to, the whole No Child Left Behind bullshit, I understand how those fucking children feel. I understand how it feels to feel fucking alone for your entire life, if not half of it. Because if it wasn't for this community standing in front of me, listening to me right now, I'd still feel like I was alone. And I still would be like, fuck this community and lock myself away. But instead of being selfish and taking my time for myself and only focusing on me, I'm making it to where when I decide to have children, if I decide to have children, they don't have to go through the same bullshit that I'm going through. I don't want to be 60 years old seeing my grandson with a megaphone out on the news doing the same shit I'm doing today. I want to be on the news and see my grandson, chief of police or some bullshit. I want to see something positive. I don't want your motorcycle is shit. It ain't gonna stop me from being loud. Good luck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know, but see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I lose my shit, we check each other. That's what this bullshit's about. There's no one Black Lives Trump. There you go, brother. Yeah, they're real mad they can't keep us quiet. That's why they try so hard to keep us quiet. Little do they realize, I know how to get loud. I've always been loud. Because I grew up in a household to where if you weren't heard, you didn't get help. So I had to make sure I got heard when I needed help. Now, my family's probably going to see this and be like, oh, how dare you talk shit on us? I could talk so much more shit and they know it. They're the reason I'm out here in the first place. Because you know how they say, you know, persecution comes from within? They ain't wrong. They ain't wrong. I could have been one of those people that have been, you know, prejudiced against everybody because I was ridiculed by the blacks, I was ridiculed by whites, Asians, Mexicans. I've gotten hate from everybody for different reasons, and it's like, people aren't understanding that it's not just one versus the other. No, it's ignorance versus knowledge. That's what this is really about. Ignorant versus knowledge. And if you really want to get into it, it's a fucking class war. It's rich versus the poor. And y'all know it. And the quote-unquote elites are using shit like that. Shit like this protest to keep us fucking divided. Because they don't want us to unite. Because the second we unite with them, and we go after the real problem, then they're gonna be shaking in their fucking boots. Because they understand that if we get together, we outnumber them 10-1. And there ain't gonna be shit to do when we're on their fucking doorstep being like, fuck you, fix it. That's what they don't want. That's why they keep telling those people over there that we're here to destroy their communities. That's why they keep telling us that they're out here trying to shoot us. That's not what's happening. I know that. Trust me, I know. I've been over on that side plenty of times, had plenty of conversations. I ain't afraid of y'all just as much as you ain't afraid of me. But I ain't out here for no bullshit. I'm out here trying to build the community together. I would really like if y'all would listen to us instead of trying to drown this out. Point fucking proven! Point fucking proven! I asked him to listen and he tells me to shut up. Now do y'all see why I'm so goddamn angry? Now do you see why I'm always fucking out here? It's bullshit. They say all lives matter. Okay, cool. Prove it. Stand with me. They talk about USA. The first word in that sentence, in that statement, is something we're fighting for. We're trying to be united. But y'all keep thinking we're out here trying to burn, loot, and murder. We don't want your fucking checklist. We have our own.
Thank you.
We came out here to unite, to support, to provide for our fucking community. Why can't you fucking see that? Answer me that. I don't give a fuck if I live here or not. This is my goddamn country just as much as yours. Y'all don't like me because I speak the fucking truth. And that's what you're really afraid of. It's real hard for me not to engage with them because I can say some stuff that make them real mad. But I don't want them coming over here because of me. Because that'd be all on me. Earlier I was talking about accountability. If I stand here and talk shit to them and make them come over here, y'all get hurt. That's not what I'm out here for. I give a fuck if they hurt me, but they hurt y'all. That'll haunt me. I don't even know how long, but that would still fuck with me. Like I went to Portland once. Saw this kid have a seizure on the side of the road. To this day, that still fucks with me. Because I tried to get this kid medical help and was met with a fucking M16. So yeah, that kind of made me mad. Making me mad is an understatement, but you get the point. All I want to do is have a future to where I can walk down the street with my grandkids and not have to worry about, you know, people trying to hurt them or think they're trying to rob a fucking store. All because they picked something up. It's ridiculous. All I'm trying to do is be out here and support the fucking community. I could easily just go the fuck home, turn my PlayStation on, turn my phone off, and say fuck all of you. But I don't. Because you don't. Because you understand that we need to stand united and build a community. And that's why we keep coming out here. It's just difficult when we have to deal with all this ignorant bullshit. And I know that. That's why I'm glad I have those of you out here that can even check me when I step out of line, because I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. But we have to work together to make it work. It's not easy, it's not fun, but together we can do this. Like the song said, we're gonna be all right. It's just gonna take a minute.
What? She was shot.
But if you want to, yes.
It's, I don't know if you want to.
No. This is one of those moments where I have to check myself because I'm so goddamn angry right now. It's not even funny. Huh? Feel free. I'm not gonna silence anybody. We all need to be fucking heard.
Love you. I just want to say that I love you all. And I'm so thankful to see you out here, because when I saw that there was a march stating that black people matter, that we matter, my mind was kind of blown. I was just like, really? In my place of residence where I live, people think I matter? That's crazy. Not even in my own family have I heard that. It's wild, honestly. And I am thankful, honestly, for the people across the street too, because if I didn't know what true racism looked like, how would I fight it? How would I fight it if I didn't know? How did I fight it if I didn't stare it in the face? I'm thankful to be out here, and I'm thankful for every single one of you, and I just want to keep spreading the love, because that is what this is about. This is about love. This is about gratefulness for being alive and just wanting the equal opportunities that it seems like everyone else is born with. That's what we want out here. We just want equality. We just want to be treated as equals out here. That's all we're asking.
We're a welcoming community. Now get the fuck out.
All right. Does anybody want to engage in a chat with me?
Yeah.
Can I hear a hell yeah?
Hell yeah!
Thank you. All right. We're going to say Black Lives Matter and they're beautiful. What's going on out there? Hey,
Stay focused! If you're standing with me, get back over here! I'm not fucking around! I'm tired of the bullshit! If you stand with me, get the fuck back over here!
Peaceful protest!
Come on!
Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Hey! Over here, y'all. Thank you. I'm not trying to stop the chant. I was just saying, everyone come back over this way. Let's all focus over here. Because what are we here for? A peaceful what? I can't hear you. Peaceful what?
Protest!
Come on, chant it with me. Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Come on, don't stop just because I do. Keep going.
Peaceful protest! Peaceful
Keep on, keep going.
protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
Come on, get louder. I know you can.
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest!
Don't worry about losing your voice. We got water. Come on, get louder.
Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
I want everyone to keep chanting and get louder. Keep chanting and get louder. Keep chanting. I want to talk to you about y'all chant.
Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful!
Doing this is proving their point that we can be
Peaceful protest. 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 Peaceful protest.
Oh yeah, shooting the shit with the cops there.
Peaceful protest. 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 Peaceful protest.
Coming into the shade.
I'll put the megaphone down, so please come up and grab it, but please keep shaking. I need some water real quick. Peaceful protest! 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 Peaceful
Peaceful protest.
I need to be focused on what's going on right
This is an order. We all are trying.
We'll get back over there in a minute. My phone starts charging.
And I was talking to you. So here we go. She wanted to know why she didn't have a protest. And so, basically, the next question, there was a blue car that had two nice ladies in there. They just gave me my son's toy and his sippy cup because sometimes my son spends time in Rover with that lady. Her name's Mary. Just spoke her. But in any case, that lady, Mary, that lives here in Rogue River, she asked me back in Medford to come out here and speak. Naturally, I told her that I didn't think that was a good idea.
Are we scared?
No. But I got a chance to meet her grandkids, her granddaughters, and they live here too. And I got to hear their experiences living here in Rogue River, and it was some unsavory experiences too. And because they're kids, and these experiences are not my own, I am leaving their names out. Because I wanted them to be comfortable enough to come and talk about their experiences in the town that they live in. But then this happened. So I don't know what else to do. Except
thank you, dude.
Peaceful protest!
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 Peaceful protest! Seriously, I got labeled a terrorist today. Oh. And I was told that we were going to come here to this quaint little town and live somewhere. I don't know. I was told that we were going to, ransack something. I'm not going to be sure what's going on. But that's not my story. I just wanted to uplift the voices of the kids that live here. That's all I wanted to do. So honestly, when you come up, when you ride past here with motorcycles and all that nonsense, I mean, go right ahead and do it. It's a free country.
we open up the floor, when we open up the microphone for them to come talk about their own towns within their town, they're not here because they're afraid. You just made them afraid. I know you want to save our children. Well, that's what we're trying to do. If you want to have a dialogue, if you want to have a conversation, I gotta tell you, sometimes I get a little angry. It's kind of like the Snickers commercial. We all get a little testy sometimes. That's why I wanted to have a barbecue. Because did you know how hard it is to hate somebody over I'm not letting them speak? Do you know how hard it is to hate somebody with a cold beer and some corn on the cob, some baked beans? It's really hard to hate somebody when you're breaking bread with one another, talking about the things that plague you in your collective communities. That's all I wanted to do. Have this barbecue gone down, you would have heard the conversation how they feel. Have the barbecue happen, you're going to learn something else too. Is that, yes. I was at a city council meeting. I was at this city council meeting in early August. I was. And I couldn't help but overhear something that I thought was super important. The city council members, along with a lot of Southern Oregonians, they don't like the fact that their own state government doesn't care about a little town like this. They're so upset that when the state talks about funding, when the state talks about helping their own people, Oregon only really helps Portland. I understand your frustration. You're really getting sick and tired of a governor that thinks that Portland is all of Oregon. And I've been here for quite a few years, and I know that's not true at all. I hate the fact that you have a public servant who said that when she went into the governor position, she was going to help and represent Oregon. But instead, she just represents Portland, and I think that's pretty messed up. So imagine being Black in America. We're going to say land of the free, land of the free, land of the free. But then when it comes to skin color, it ain't so free. We hate the fact that when you say all lives matter, we know that you don't need black people. Otherwise it would be. So just like you have a governor that only cares about one part of Oregon, well, we have an entire country that only cares about one race. And honestly, it's not the human race, and that's why we're here. So I'd like to tell you a little something. I like to think of the long run. You don't know why these protests are happening. You think they're pointless. I get it. I just want you to know that the only agenda that I have, the only agenda that I've had this entire time is that not only do I like your quaint little town, it's a little small for me. I'm a city slicker, there's no changing that. But for other people that like the small town feel, I want them to feel comfortable here too. Actually, I want more people of color, not just black. I'm talking about Mexican, Middle Eastern. I want all people of color, ethnicity, everybody to get comfortable. But they don't. And that's why there's not a lot of them here. They don't feel comfortable. And I'm not going to point out any one person or anything like that. That's not my place. That's why I wanted your residents to come up and say something, because they live here and they know you. So what do I want to accomplish with these protests? Why? Why are we here? What is our end game so far? Well, I tell you.
Equality.
Equality. Equality. Because if more people of color feel comfortable living in a place like this, guess what? More businesses are going to come here because they want to appeal to that population. See, I'm thinking of long term, okay, people? I want more people of color to come here. I want more businesses to come here. Because guess what? More population density, that means you get noticed by state governments. That means you're no longer a fly on the wall or just a little side note to all of Oregon, because this is Oregon too. Don't Portland my Oregon, and I stand by that. I want people of color to feel comfortable living here. I want more of them to move here. And more importantly, I want all of Southern Oregon to stand in solidarity, because we do have a common problem. We have a problem with state government treating us like we don't exist. Don't you feel that and hate it? We exist! Southern Oregon is a place. It is real. We have communities. We have jobs. We have lives down here. But every single time Oregon gets talked about, who gets the most press, Portland? It's not even the state capital, but Portland gets the most press. I'm upset too. I'm upset, but see, here's the thing. Before we can tackle the problem that all of Oregon faces, with Portland just being at the forefront of representing all of Oregon, and we don't want that, there's another problem. We have a problem with accepting the people that already live in our communities. So I got a question for you, All Lives Matter people. I just got a simple question for you. How do you expect state government officials to take you seriously if you can't even unite your own communities? This is the time to do it right now. The time is right now. Right now. I'm tired of the fact that I live in Southern Oregon. I have to stay in the dark while Portland overshadows everybody else that lives in this state. And I know you are too. You say things like down with Kate Brown. Well, guess what? I'm down. I am right there with you. I agree. So if you truly believe that there's no racism in your town, well, then you're not going to have any problem with me talking to the city council about how we can attract more people of color, more people from different walks of life to come here and the rest of Oregon. Because I want to do this with all the city council members, not just here. I want to make sure that Southern Oregon doesn't get left out again. But until that day comes, peaceful protest, 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 peaceful protest. You want to know who is the master behind having peaceful protests? That is a man by the name of Dr. Martin Luther King. Here's the thing about that, though. I have noticed a lot of people that like to plaster his quotes all over my Facebook feed. And I'm like, that's interesting. Okay. All right, we're opening up the idea of learning and education about civil rights and all that. Great. Great. Here's the problem. You leave out the part where he got assassinated because of what he was doing. He was assassinated because he was peaceful protesting. He was assassinated. He was killed by people that have the same beliefs as Donald J. Trump. I hate to say it, but at some point you're gonna have to come to the realization that maybe you made the wrong choice in presidential candidacy. The rest of the world knows, but one day we hope you do too. But until then, peaceful protest! Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
Peaceful protest.
But it's like,
Someone else, you got something to say?
yeah, so I know about Pennsylvania.
Hey, you were Alex Duff. Do you really? It's in the middle of nowhere, man. That's where my dad was originally from. Alex Duff, Pennsylvania.
Oh, small towns racist. No. Small towns have racist people, but they aren't racist. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, we're not out here saying you guys are racist. We're just saying there are people that are racist. We're not out here trying to, we're out here with our own challenge to unite, support, and build. Right? That's all we're trying to do, but yet they think we're out here trying to complete that checklist I've heard them say a few times, burn, loot, and murder. We don't want to do that, we live here.
Good deal.
I want to be able to come out here on vacation one day. Why would I burn something somewhere to visit? I don't want to drive through and be like, oh, I burned that place down. No, I feel bad. No. I feel horrible if somebody set on fire. I'd help you catch the arsonist, actually.
I would appreciate that. That'd be great.
I'd probably put them down for you.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. We're here to stop again.
Right? We're here to help
For the most
as much
part,
as we can.
it's been peaceful. So a couple things like this, we're doing all right. Doing all right.
I'm definitely about to go over there and see if, me and him can come to an agreement and see where he stands. He walked up, I said hi, he said right back. That's what he, like, I said hi, and they say it back. I'm like, okay, cool. We're cool. Because I'm at a lot of people that stand on the side that don't come over to you because they don't want to get met with you, which is why people kind of leave them alone. Even if they don't want exposure, just leave them alone. Like the anti-abortion students, I don't know where they went, but I find it real funny how they went over there and immediately got met with hate. They come over here, we don't even bother them. I deal with them every Tuesday. So.
So you use every week or something going on every week?
Every week there's something going on. It's been going on since June. Ever since then, because like I said, I wasn't what I am now before this started. I was kind of the person that would stay in my home, be like, fuck them outside, fuck everybody. I ain't trying to be about none of that bullshit. And then the first protest in Medford happened, and I saw so much love and support that I didn't expect. I'm like, okay, if they can stand for me, and they're not of my skin color or my background, lucky enough to have children, I don't have to sit there and be like, don't worry, little Jimmy, that guy just hates you because of the color of your skin, don't pay attention to him. No. I want little Jimmy to be able to walk up to a police officer and not have to worry about, is this cop going to think I'm trying to steal something? Like right now, I'm not worried that you're thinking I'm trying to get into nothing because I said hi to you. You came up here trying to keep the peace.
That's exactly
I ain't doing nothing, so I ain't got no reason to be afraid.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's what people aren't getting because they're like, oh, all cops are bastards. Okay, there are the good ones and there are the bad ones. We're working on fixing the corruption. We can't sit there and criticize people if we want to fix it.
I've been doing it for 31 years, and the vast majority of they really right. I'll tell you my experience in Jackson County. I've had here, Central Point, Medford, Talent. I've worked in all those places, all outstanding people. Okay, I can tell you the most of Oregon. I've dealt with a lot of the agencies. Other than that, a little bit in Washington, a little bit in California. But I can tell you, Oregon is an outstanding place for police officers. And they take care of
I can agree to an extent because there are some officers that I have a personal grudge with because of things they've done to me in the past, but I don't hold that against you because you weren't the one that did it. Okay? Now, I can openly admit that the officers here are a hell of a lot better than where I came from.
Where'd you come from? Oh, from Maryland.
Okay. I lived in the suburbs of Maryland for like 5 years. And I'm not even kidding. I couldn't walk down the street without them rolling up on me with their hands on their weapons asking me what I was doing. Because someone called them saying I was being suspicious.
What do you mean?
When all I was doing was walking down the street smoking a cigarette. I come out here, I can sit on the side of the street with a cigarette all day. None of the police here bother me. Like I go out to these protests, I wave to some of the cops. They actually come up and talk to me like, oh, hey man, how you doing today? Saying I'm trouble, blah, 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 the usual spiel. They go about their business. Now, not everyone has that same opportunity. And it's not just people of color that face it, and I know that. That's why I'm not out here. I'm one of the people that's saying when we're saying we're fighting against police brutality, I'm not saying just of one person. I'm saying police brutality in general is something we're trying to fix. You know, not just police brutality for me or for this guy or for that guy. No, police brutality as a whole. Because if we fix just one half of the problem, we're not fixing the whole problem. Like, we're not fixing the problem, you know?
You bet. How about I say, dude? The alcohol became taking the fucking comments here today. That's sick. From our government, from our police, that they don't want
Well, that's what we were saying. Some of them.
He's native.
They've been nice.
He's native. Look across the street. Look across the street. Do you see them? They're white.
Well, we're a new organization. We don't have a lot of money. I'm not getting paid. I'm doing this for free.
Yeah, her.
I'm actually losing money. So I'm paying for things that I'm all in your pocket.
He's over there, the red one.
We're working to do.
He apologized for the red.
See, my thing is, the state troopers, they remember us from Cave Junction. Me specifically, when we walked up, I was like, oh yeah, I remember you. He was like, I'm glad you're here. Things will be good since you're here. I'm like, no.
I'm so flabbergasted why that's a hard thing to understand and why that's something that...
Yeah, I've mentioned that quite a bit.
I've been trying to piss enough people off where they will fuck with you.
In Georgia, in Georgia, I was met with so much hate.
That's my goal, is to show you guys are the ones that are violent. I'm not. I'm gonna bring the violence out of y'all. Oh well, I'm gonna be in every little town. My next 10. Yeah, for sure. No, because my next one is to find the next shitty little town and show up in that one.
Hey, we gotta go back.
Because Black Lives Matter.
CJ, man.
Because we should be able to go anywhere. They don't care about Salem. We're going to go support the children too. I was going to support the children too until they told me they're going to kill my daughter, who's only 4. That's why I met them in the street today. But they wanted to support the kids, but they threatened my 4-year-old daughter.
There were some people that had defunded the CPS fund.
Fuck CPS too. Fuck the government.
CPS is very good in most cases.
Needed is a different story. Whether it works or not is what we're worried about. Whether it works or not, which right now it does. Not CPS is
Why would...
We're having a conversation.
Why would they? Yeah, like why?
I love what their movie stuff is.
Be a little bit more respectful, just a little bit. Oh, you can't kick him in the ass, but I would say, fuck, I wish you could say something.
Honestly, I'm not mad at them because I like them and I like
I know your bike pretty well. Yeah, it's right.
I'm not even mad when they do that.
I love your bike. Can I ride it?
They don't let me ride like there's insurance
I got insurance.
for the motorcycle.
I got insurance.
You have motorcycle license?
No, my name's Clarence. I am my own insurance. Huh? Y'all think I'm playing, huh? You guys are really going to be mad at me. 'Cause I'm not talking about I haven't got one choice. I don't care about not doing it except for making sure that this movement makes sense.
Go ahead, yeah, give me a
It's gonna make them mad. They don't not like my black life anymore. They hate it.
I love it, man.
Well, I'm gonna keep showing up so you can show me that love.
I'm busy a lot, so you know.
You'll come out. You always
I
find.
like this bracelet. This is cool.
Thank you. You always find.
Me once in a while.
Well, if I knew where, I would.
I'm on the green motorcycle. It doesn't get much more of a big.
Well, I never get to see it till it flies by me or pops up. But no, serious. I don't know what else to do. I want my daughter.
Why don't you go home and maybe do that?
I'm not the ones the courts won't let me have.
How many daughters do you have?
3 daughters and 1 boy.
Are they
son, he's in college. He's an all-A student.
I said my daughter. I love her like a daughter. My neighbor. I love her. She's adopted now. Sweet girl. Oh, I love her. Why?
Because she shouldn't be out of her own country. Then she knows who she is. Then you get a bunch of other people telling her who she is and what she needs to be and about herself. Make her country take care of her. Make her community take care of her. That's what we do in America. Is we throw our people out too. Whites, blacks, Mexicans, Chinese. No, I'm just saying everybody do. If one of our people fuck up, we throw them away. We don't look at ways to help them or fix them. We literally throw them away. No, I'm not. We do. I'm not. No, because I want to see change. Because I want to see change. I can't do it by myself. I'm nobody. Yeah, I've done it for 5 days. I'm not doing what's funny from everybody else. Nobody's trying to help my daughter not walk through a bunch of hatred with lightning bolts on the back of people's shirts and she not understand what a lightning bolt means, and that means fuck her and her life. That means white power. Lightning bolt, the 888. You're talking to a fully thoroughbred. I come from that life. That's why I say, like, when they get mad at me, like, whatever. You know how many gang members?
I don't feel like I do that. I don't think I will.
No, I know.
I couldn't walk down the street.
I know him and his wife. I know half of them over there. That's pretty bad. Like half of them support the blue. I know them too. Most of them I know from prison though. So when they throw out my criminal record, I've never understood that when I know them from prison.
They've only been to jail once.
They call me violent. Well, let me get my phone. No, I never got it. And then I got to figure out what I'm doing. What's up, Phil?
I'll wait for you. Come on back.
Now this is on the East Coast, though, close to our nation's capital. That's the bullshit that's
Grab something to drink.
But yet, I come over here to Oregon. I've never met such a loving bunch of people in my life.
A picture of my daughter? I gave
part
him
of the
a
reason why I'm always
memory card of my daughter.
Because the first day I get to Oregon, all I had was a bag of clothes,
I really
a bag
did.
of books, and a bag of video games with a bass guitar strapped to my back. No money, no job, no friends, nothing. I'm here for all the like 15 minutes. Dude sees me get off the bus. He's like, yo, you just get off the Greyhound? I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you stopping or are you staying here? I'm like, I'm looking to make this my home. He hands me 2 joints and says, welcome to Oregon, and walks away. He didn't ask me for no money. He didn't ask me to give me sort of anything. He was just like, welcome to Oregon, and walks away. I don't know about y'all, but the stoner that day was broken.
No, I don't do that.
I got myself a couple of matches, went outside, waited for a friend to pick me up. Sparked those joints and left. Because that was a long 3-day bus ride with no weed, and I needed them damn joints.
I don't want none of that.
So God himself sent that is by this time next year to at least have it started to where I can have my own field, my own pot farm, live out there, support myself, and hopefully start a family out there. I just want to grow some weed. That's all I want to do. That's the tax crop here, am I wrong? People that come out to a nice little town like this, give me some property, build me a house, go get some pot, help out the community, and live my life. That's all I want to do.
I have to make associations with people.
But when I came out here, I didn't have the resources to do that. Now that this community is helping support me, we're starting to work on that. Like right now, I work out on the farm, I have my OLCC. I'm taking the baby steps to get there. I'm learning. It's a process. So hopefully in 5 years, I have what I'm working for. But I damn sure wouldn't be able to do that on my own. That's why I'm out there fighting for this community. Because if it wasn't for the people in this community, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. Hold on. Before I answer your question, I have to just I'll answer your question, sir. Hold on. I'll answer your question here in a minute. But I want to give a special thanks to somebody in this community, and I want you all to see this. Come here. Yeah, dude, come here.
I think this is the
right here, I'm gonna leave two names out of it because reasons. But this person right here helps me more than anybody actually realizes because I have a vehicle that I put my literal blood, sweat, and tears into. And because of this person buying me a $264, yeah, I looked at the price tag, $264 battery, it brought a tear to my fucking eye when I saw that. Because all I asked was for like a $60 battery from Walmart. This person went above and beyond to make sure I had what I needed to make sure my vehicle kept fucking running. And if it wasn't for this person, I wouldn't even have my job today. So thank you. This is what fucking community looks like. This is what we're trying to build. We need more stories like this and less hate. That's why I'm always out here trying to get people to understand we can't stand together. We can't do this if we just fucking support each other. That's all we gotta do. It's not that hard. Drop your pride, humble yourself, and help people. It's easy to shut yourself out. That's easy. We're asking you to do the difficult things that not many people have the balls to do. We're asking you to stand up against the differences and help. We're asking you to fight the real fight. And I know people are sensitive about the word fight. I'm not talking literal, I'm talking metaphorically. Because it's a mental fight. It's emotional.
Spiritual fight.
Yes, it's spiritual. And it's difficult. Especially when you're trying to love people and all they do is hate on you. Trust me, I get that. And now I'm taking the steps to not only correct myself, but correct the corruption in the community. Now this gentleman had a question, so I'm going to hand the mic off to whoever wants this.
Can you say that again?
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to hand this mic off to whoever wants it so I can answer this gentleman's question and also eat my ice cream.
Come on.
We are.
Echo my question over the microphone. How about we do it online? Can we do that?
We are focused on positivity.
Let me hear your questions. I'll see what
We're not engaging with people.
What does Black Lives Matter mean to you?
We are not engaging with people who wish us harm. We are not engaging with people who hate us. We are not engaging with people who wish to divide us, who wish to prevent us from promoting our message of equality. We are not engaging with people. The important thing that we are doing out here is showing Rogue River that we care, that we want every life to matter.
Sorry, there's a bug in my ear.
We are not engaging. We are not engaging. You know, Keziah brought up a really good point. He mentioned that he used to be filled with hate. And I think that a lot of us started out in this journey when you start to really do that internal work and start to really look at yourself and heal, you realize that there's a lot of hate and anger inside you. And that's really hard to accept. I went on a really similar journey too. You know, I once had a lot of misconceptions. I once believed a lot of things that were harmful to other people. And I really had to do the work inside. I really had to do the work inside and focus on the parts of me that I really loved and try to amplify those and focus on the parts of me that I didn't love as much and figure out exactly how I could work to create a version of myself that is loving to other people even when they hate me. It's a really hard thing to do, and it makes you really angry, and you want to be able to scream and shout when you feel misunderstood. That's exactly what's happening here right now. A lot of people who are standing across the street think that we think they're racist and that they're evil. That's not true. We originally tried to have this event so that we could listen to the members of Rogue River, the residents of the Rogue River community. We do not believe that individual people are actively trying to promote racism all the time. I mean, I sure as hell hope not in 2020. But there are a lot of systems. There are a lot of moments from history that we have not worked through that allow for hate and allow for miscommunication and misunderstanding to continue. We are not engaging. We are not engaging. We believe that every person deserves love. We believe that our community should come together. We're not the ones that have instigated. And what's really kind of funny to me is that a lot of people who are standing across the street talk about how we should honor our police officers and honor our law enforcement. But why are the law enforcement out here in the sun today? It's not because of us. We are not the ones that were promoting violence and threatening to shoot their fellow community members. We're not the reason that law enforcement is out here working overtime, feeling undervalued and underappreciated. That's not us. We're not the ones promoting violence. We are not the threat. And it's just really quite funny that a group of people who believe that America is so great and that law enforcement officers deserve to be respected do things that require them to have to stand out in the middle of the street and prevent their community members from fighting each other. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But it doesn't come from an evil place. It doesn't come from a place of hate. It comes from a place of frustration and misunderstanding. That was our original goal, was to educate. Our original goal was to promote our message because we are determined to connect as many people together across Southern Oregon and ensure that we are building a community that doesn't have to stand on opposite sides of the street anymore. There's no reason for this to happen. We are not the ones who are instigating. We are not the threat. And we are not engaging. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. Does anyone want to lead a chant?
You're doing great.
Does anyone want to lead a chant? Let's make sure our voices are heard. Let's make sure that we are unified.
Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
I want y'all to keep chanting. For those of y'all who can hear me, keep listening. Keep chanting, don't stop. Keep chanting, come on.
Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
How is it? There we go.
Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
Louder. Louder.
Peaceful protest. 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 Peaceful protest.
Alright, so remember the gentleman that had questions for me? Here's how we're going to do this. First off, I'm going to put this megaphone around my shoulder because I'm getting tired of fucking holding it. Oh my god, it's actually quiet for once. So I'm going to answer this gentleman's questions because he had a few questions for me that he wants me to echo to everybody. This should be interesting. His first question was, what do I think BLM stands for? Obviously, I think it's Black Lives Matter. That's the obvious part. But the part that people aren't understanding is that when I say Black Lives Matter, and I'm sure this doesn't apply to just me, but when people say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying only Black Lives Matter. We're saying Black Lives Matter just as much as everyone else does. And the point you're not understanding is the whole reason why we say black instead of all is because black people are the ones standing up for equal rights. Real talk. What? No, that's just what Black Lives Matter means to me. I'm gonna get to that. Hold on, I'm gonna get to that.
It's a 50-50. No, what you're trying to do is poke holes in our logic and make us look like assholes. Not gonna work. Then stop interrupting me. I'm sorry. I got this. We're not gonna escape. I want to show people that we're not that much different.
We're not that much different because he asked me what those people over there who are chanting All Lives Matter think about Black Lives Matter. That's real simple. They think that I'm holding my life above everyone else. I'm not. And I will turn blue in the face and talk to you. If I can turn blue in the face, that's some shit. But if I can turn blue in the face telling them that, I would. Because I'm not out here trying to say my life matters more than his. I'm trying to say we are equal. My life matters too. You know? I'm not trying to make you look like an asshole. I'm sorry if it does, but I'm out here telling the truth. And if the truth makes you look like an asshole, then there's something you should fix. Just say it. If the truth makes you feel bad, then there's something wrong inside of you. Because trust me, at first I felt bad. Because when I came out here, I'm not gonna lie, I was out here with the thought that everybody on the other side was racist. I was out here thinking that there was nothing but hate coming from the other side, that they don't want to listen, they don't want to understand. But I had to check myself and realize a lot of them are just misguided. That's all it really is. A lot of them are just misguided and don't understand what we're actually going for. Because words have power, and words can also be easily misunderstood. Because I have that problem in my personal life. Because I say shit, but I mean something else. And everyone's like, hold up, you said this, but this and this and this. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. Which got me thinking, the shit we say can be easily misunderstood by them, which is what causes a lot of these problems. Thank you. Thank you for those who are listening. Because like I said, if we want to build a community that's equal, sadly, we're going to have to educate them. As much as we would love to ignore them and just blow it off like it ain't nothing, we can't do that. Because that's not what a community looks like. A community is only as strong as its weakest links. And if we can make all of those links fucking strong, they can't break it. So that's what it means to me when I say Black Lives Matter. I understand that they don't understand what we're trying to go for here. It's going to take some time for them to do that. I understand that, which is why we need to have patience. But that's difficult. Even for me, even for some of these parents out here that have like 2 or 3 children, they are masters at patience. Trust me, I've seen it in action. But everyone has a limit. But we gotta work on keeping ourselves in check. Because if we can sit here and stand our ground and do what we came to actually do and ignore the hate, they'll see that. They'll understand that we ain't trying to fuck shit up. They'll understand that all we want to do is help them build their damn community. One fucking proven. Every time. I love it. And all we're trying to do is spread the love. Show some people that it's okay for you to be who you are. No matter who you are. That's all we're trying to do. That's right. You are enough. No matter who you are, what you do as a job, you are enough. Whether you're a janitor at fucking Trump Towers or a fucking burger flicker at McDonald's, your life fucking matters. No matter who you are. That's all we're trying to tell these people. But yet, they're so pissed off about one word. Because they think the word black is excluding everybody else. I understand black is the absence of color, but black is not the absence of fucking life. Sorry for pausing all the time, y'all, but God damn it, am I angry. Oh. That's right. I understand that the media tells them that we have restrictions calls, burn, loot, murder. I've heard that so many times today. That's one of the main things I'm mad about. Because I don't want to burn nothing but some weed. I don't want to loot nothing but video game chests or Borderlands. I don't want to murder nobody. Like, I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to draw no blood. That's not what we're out here for. The only thing I want to burn is some hot leaves in a fucking bowl. Is that wrong? I guess it's wrong to smoke weed? Because it's so fucking lock me up now. Shit, because that's exactly what I'm doing as soon as I get home.
We're still pulling off the phone, so we're still off to the side here. Hope you can hear okay.
It's just so difficult, y'all. I'm just glad that I got y'all out there to support me. Because like an old friend once told me, friends don't let friends do stupid things. I love them. Yeah. And from all the people who brought up to Portland with me, all the people who supported me when we went out to Camp Junction, even though there was a lot of people that knew trying to do it. All the people that support me in Bedford, all the people that have supported us in Grants Pass, Coos Bay, all over Southern Oregon. I thank y'all, because without y'all, our message wouldn't be getting out there getting hurt. You know? Yeah, I'm one man, but one man can't change the world. It takes us standing together to be able to make anything great. And I know there's people over there that think I'm some sort of troublemaker. And they met me like 10 years ago, and they're like, but that's not me. That's not me now. They say, oh, people can't change. Bullshit. The person that inspired me to actually come out here and start doing things is an ex-gang member. He was fully into that life, but now he's switching it around for his daughter to make sure she can fucking survive in this world and not have to worry about being hated on. That alone inspires me. So fucking I go to that motherfucker every time I have some questions, every time I feel lost, every time I don't know what the fuck I'm fighting for, I ask for help. Because we can do that in this community. If you can't stand on your own 2 feet, reach your hand up. Someone will help you get the fuck back up. Because that's what community looks like. We don't sit here and hate on each other. We don't judge each other. We don't persecute each other. Yeah, we pick on each other, but that's what friends do. I tell all my friends, if you don't pick on me for like 5 minutes after we meet each other, I know something's wrong. Which is real weird because I used to get bullied as a child. But now, growing up, I understand the difference between bullying and friendship. Friendship is that light little humor where you're like, just use it there, even though you know your friend works out on the bus bar. Or, you know, oh, hey, you know, you got something on your forehead when we're out here at the bar and everyone's all hot and sweaty. You know, little shit like that. But what I won't stand for is thinking that
everyone out here is out here to destroy stuff, because we're not. Because trust me, if we wanted to destroy something, which I'm real surprised they haven't realized this yet, if we wanted to destroy something, the building behind me would have already been gone. They don't realize that. They're like, oh, yeah, the burn, loot, murder. Not to sound like a terrorist, but all it would take is one cocktail and this entire city would be leveled. I'm done with that, because I don't want them thinking that's what we're out here for, because that's not what we're out here for. I just want them to understand that we ain't about that. See? Already threatening my life, you're like, you're the first fucking to go. I don't care. I really don't. I'm out here for peace. If you don't like that, tough shit. See what I'm talking about? Hey, yo, don't pay him no mind. Back over here. Pay him no mind. Come on. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Come on, man. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. We ain't focusing on that.
We're only paying attention, so people can be held accountable for their behavior. Peaceful protest.
Focus over here. We are peaceful. We are non-violent. We are not engaging. What I find really interesting is that the people who keep trying to aggress seem to be really comfortable doing that with police presence right here. We just had a direct threat on Keziah's life, and what are the police doing? That's a little bit concerning, isn't it? We are not engaging. We are not engaging. We have not threatened anybody. We are just promoting equality. Yet the people who are standing across the road have threatened our lives. What are the police doing to protect us?
You're a terrorist.
We are not engaging. Focus on the people you're here to support.
We threatened
Hey, I was trying to notice how he took what I said and
we threatened to give you a book to read? Oh my gosh.
Took it literally like I'm actually trying to do it. See what I'm talking about?
I didn't know y'all didn't like learning this much. Okay.
They take what we say, misinterpret it, and use anything we say as a threat. Because for some odd reason, they feel like whenever we say anything, they have to look for reasons to aggress at us. They have to look for reasons to try to attack us. Why? Because they're fucking scared of us. I hate to say it like that, but they think we're out here trying to destroy shit. We're not. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm repeating myself so eventually they'll understand. I've been told not to engage.
I don't know how much of that ridiculous conversation you heard behind me,
but I'm sorry, I'm speaking
those are comments of friends from the other side
like I said before,
who feel like they need to heckle amongst themselves.
Thank you.
It's kind of disgusting.
16-year-old.
Some interesting things that I've been hearing. Someone from the other side said that they wanted to know the facts. Well, see, the thing is that I want to talk about that, but you blocked it. So, anyway, that's in the past. So instead, if you really want to know about the facts and where to get this information from, since you are such understanding and decent human beings, well, the name of the first book that I'd like to give to you for you to reference on your own time, it is called The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein. So if you wanted to know how laws have impacted the lives of the Black community, you are more than welcome to read that book. I highly recommend it. It is called The Color of Law. So it literally explains what systemic racism is. Now there are many more books that I would love to share with this community. And I think it's wonderful because I have met some very wonderful people. Unfortunately, this situation makes that narrative sound otherwise, but, baby steps. But, we have a book list put together. I put a book list together, arranged it by age group, so that we could educate everyone as accordingly. And it was supposed to be given out at the barbecue, but you didn't want that to happen. You said you wanted to be educated. And then when we actually provide the book, or we provided a venue, where we were going to pass out the book list, you didn't want that to happen. I mean, it's whatever. But go to our website. You could email us. We'll send you the book list. It's not that we aren't educated, because, well, we are. That is my having things to say about it. But see, the thing is that, well, the hate's still here. And we're just trying to educate you so that, well, they no longer have to.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to go. Here's what I want. Please, no fighting, no yelling, no screaming, okay? Let's leave peaceful like it's been thus far. Sound good? All right, thank you. Movement on both sides good at this point in time.
Sorry.
Love you guys.
Thank you everybody for coming. We're going to be respectful. As the leader goes, we're going to disperse.
Walking that way, yeah. We're headed that way.
Raise your hand if you're willing to walk people to their homes.
Whichever way people would go.
We are a community.
We're trying to get them back to their
We're
cars.
going to leave together. This is just the first step. Thank you for being here today. And if you want to hear about more events, if you want to learn about the work that we're doing, our organization's website is soequity.org. SOEQUITY.org. Thank you.
Really hot machine. Yes. And you are?
A medic on the scene.
Nice to meet you.
get? There's another one. This could be a drinking game for all you day drinkers at home. Personally, I would light one up every time.
Slow move, but it's a move. What's that? Yep, sounds good, yeah. Just, again, keep breathing. Keep it going on. All right. Watch out. Dave, you want to jump in with Phillip?
Forgot a letter. Couldn't tell. Is that the casual middle finger just sort of hanging out on the armrest? The grammar fail on that one. All life matter. Thanks for sharing your license plate. I mean, I just collect the numbers. Got the holdouts. Probably doesn't want to be in camera.
I'm not going to cuss out you up. I know I'm fine. If you're whatever tomorrow, you know that it's license plate. Whatever.
I don't know how to.
We got more.
Here? Oh.
You're good. There's a car coming. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. So you guys aren't going to like Medford or?
I don't know anything about that. No. We're having like a really good conversation.
Yeah. Yes, it's the mag. Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't like the small version of this.
I heard they got a different version.
But actually,
Just some conversation. Yeah.
something like that. The smocks twist sideways, and you lose
my little sister's
yeah, and you
never have I kept her away from her. Like, I brought her to Portland and it was fine. Annabelle wasn't in any harm.
This is just now?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got it on live and we talked to them. Do what we can, right?
Yep.
Not right now.
Clarence, where you at? All right, everybody. It's been an interesting afternoon, that's for sure. Might come back later. Yeah, maybe we'll get to talk some more about